You're watching Sports Final.
Well, tip-top of the evening, everybody, and welcome to Sports Final from our temporary new digs as the fine folks here at KHQA build Ross and I a handsome new home.
Yeah, can't wait for that. And tonight, big slate of action. In the meantime, we soldier on through this busy week of playoff games. Quarterfinal fun in Illinois boys regional play on one last desperation gasp for the Holy Trinity boys, and the Keokuk girls trying to book passage to Des Moines against the #1 team in the state of Iowa. That's where we start tonight. Mike Davis's team up in Washington, Iowa. A noisy gym. This one, about one of the loudest atmospheres I've ever been a part of. It was a great start for the Chiefs. Despite that noisy crowd, Zoe Cavon had 7 first quarter points. There's 2 of them right there. How about Alexis Lozano-Dobbs? She's going to streak in with the good handles. Gets the score there. Keokuk led 15-9 after 1 quarter of play. Then they go inside to Rachel Dunlap, who hits the 2 over the post player there. And student section just jawing back and forth. As I mentioned, this was just noisy all over the place. Felt like a college game. It got really intense there for a while. How about Bella Lozano-Dobbs feeding Dunlap inside? Keokuk hit 5 3-pointers in the third quarter. They trailed by 1 to start the fourth quarter, but they just couldn't pull it out. Their great season unfortunately comes to an end at the hands of #1 Benton. They lose by a score of 52-45, but what a ride it was for the Lady Chiefs. And we hate to start the show on a sour note, but also an end of the season for the Holy Trinity boys. They also fall to #1 team Danville. Mitch Muller's 16 points, not enough in a 65-47 loss. Chris.
The Crusaders bow out at 14-9. Hey, how about some positive news? Either way, we'd have a winner at Beardstown. Could it be the host team trying to muster up a little miracle on the home floor, or would it be Quincy Notre Dame? Right off the bat, it's Nick Dietrich shaking out of his shooting slump. But you know what? Beardstown would answer. Matt Watson had himself a really good night for the Tigers, at least in the early going. Still, the Raiders answering via the 3-ball. They shot a lot of these tonight. This time, it's the twin brother, Chris Dietrich, with the take. But at the other end, Beardstown answered. This is Gus Vermillion, younger brother of Quincy University's Drake Vermillion. He had 10 points on the night. The story in this game, though, not many buckets for the good folks from Beardstown. Plenty for this guy, Evan Claney, who came off the bench, was a ton tonight. The big fellas from Q&D making their presence felt. Matt McPherson, turnaround jumper. Claney, just so fresh and so clean in this one, had 14 points off the bench. He was the story of the game as Quincy Notre Dame defensively holds Beardstown to just 8 total field goals, runs away with this thing down the stretch. The Raiders with a big win tonight. Final count in this one was 64-28 in favor of Q&D. Up next for the Raiders would be the winner of tonight's RushvilleIndustry West Hancock game. Oh, and the youngsters were giddy for this showdown tonight. Started off with a heaping helping of Parker Gibbs on the inside, who scored the first 5 points of the ball game. The big fella doing work in the interior. RushvilleIndustry finally breaking out of that thanks to this 3-pointer by Mason Plater. Still, the 3-pointers flowing at the other end by Jeremy Ferguson, who had not 1, not 2, but 3 of them in the first quarter before going down with an injury. He did not return and limped off the floor later. He could be in danger for tomorrow night, but the fact that there is a tomorrow night for West Hancock is telling, because in the second quarter, Paxton Harmon, who was held scoreless in the first 8 minutes, comes to life. His own personal 7-0 run to augment what was already a 17-9 Titan lead. More from the low blocks right there by Mr. Paxton Harmon, I should say, who had 23 points on the night. None too shabby for that fella, including the bucket, the Band-Aid, and the 3-point play, and the members' roll right there. Coy Dorothy also adding to the attack tonight as West Hancock advances to take on Quincy Notre Dame in the semifinals. Big win tonight, 56-21 in favor of the Titans there. Ross, 1A.
Class 1A regional up in Liberty. Here's Dakota Daniels losing the handle, but Mason Peter, he's going to get the job done with a jumper. Now later on, I love this play from Jared Shover. He's going to throw it back in as the ball is approaching the sideline. Check out the perfect toss. Back in bounds to Jordan Obert, who gets the easy lay-in there. Liberty all over ISD in the beginning of this one. How about off a rebound? Cody Leapley very unselfishly gives it off to Shover for another 2 points there. Liberty goes on to win this one big, 69-23, and they play the winner of the nightcap there between Route and Pleasant Hill. A quick touch pass from Nick Lonergan. Deep 3 from Garrett Eilering. He could almost see his house from where he shot that one. Very nice there. Route's postie steps up. How about Brent Long? Get out of here. The big swat along the baseline there. They just kept it going. How about the drop-off for Jacob Dietrich? Absorbs plenty of contact gets the finish on the bucket. They win it, Route does, 50-30, and they will play Liberty Wednesday night at 8:10 p.m.
We've got Missouri scores for you tonight. All regular season action now as we shift gears. Palmyra tonight as we take a look at the scoreboard. A loser at Centralia, 52-58 in that game. Blaine White with 14 points in a losing cause. Also, South Shelby stays unbeaten in play tonight in regular season and what I should say is conference play, 49-25. Apparently, we don't have those scores, so I will tell you what happened. Mark Twain tonight, a winner by 10 over Brookfield, 53-43 is your final there. Marion County, a winner over Brashear, 81-54. Logan Krigbaum with 27 points there. North Shelby boys, a winner by 3 over Schuyler County. Michael Orr with 18 points for the victorious Raiders. Knox County by 4 over Milan. Knox County wins 44-40. Royce Poor with 15 points. Also, the Macon boys knock off Monroe City, 65-48. Tyrone Walker with the leading scorer there with 18 points. Actually, check that, 15 points for Macon. Big showdown tonight in Ewing between Highland and Louisiana. Austin Richmiller doing work in this one on the down low for Highland early. Back the other direction comes Louisiana, trying to keep its slim conference title hopes alive behind Brendan Ross right there with a nice take on the drive. Derek Smith was a monster for Highland tonight. Double-double for the big fella. He had 18 points, 12 rebounds, and the beautiful finger roll at the other end. Brendan Ross playing the muscle man, though, at the other end, trying to answer. Good take for him. Good bucket for him as well. Look at the passing right here. Brandon Davey. Oh, Davey. Sweet pass. Wrap around to Derek Smith, who gets the finish at that end. Louisiana trying to make something happen. Logan Rue from deep, knocking that down on the other end of Edina. He hit it from the golf course nearly, knocking that home. However, Highland, too many answers. Keegan Brown had 12 points tonight, including 3 from the corner pocket as Highland gets the big win tonight and eliminates Louisiana from conference title contention. Final count in this one was 59-50 in favor of the Highland Cougars. More scores to pass along that you will not see tonight. Biggie tonight down in Centralia, Ross. The Centralia girls end Palmyra's undefeated run through the conference. Final count in that one was 52-38. Also tonight, Clark County was 5 points better than South Shelby in South Shelby, 65-60. We've got the Macon girls losing by 2 to Monroe City, 38-36. Marion County, #1 team in the state, jumps all over Brashear tonight, 73-14 was your final in that one. We've also got the Louisiana girls being felled by Highland. Ashton Luttrell back from that thyroid issue, had 25 points tonight. Also, the North Shelby girls, winners by 8 tonight over Schuyler County. Elizabeth Lindberger with 14 points in that one there.